So, more of the reasons why when I see people like that, even if you say they give them money, some of them, even if you don't give them money, they are programmed that way. Are you with me? Just give them food or anything. Like the way you say they have weaponized poverty. And that is one thing, right? Because you see all these people you are seeing around who are trying to validate, because that's what they're doing. They are trying to validate the what do you call it? Their leaders, or let me say their oppressors' certificate of slavery or enslavement, so to say. Okay, you have people, right, who understand that things have gone really, really bad. They are the living example of that. But at the same time, they are not really eager, right, to get themselves out of that situation because, according to them, the alternatives are not in any way better than what they have. And you see, for somebody like myself, right, who have seen some of these things firsthand, I have been, I was in Nigeria in 2018 and 2019. And I actually had one-on-one with people. And I can tell you this, this for free. People they don't really want alternative from this slavery. They are just hanging on because according to some of them, it could be their turn just anytime. And that mindset is so strong that you'll be wondering, why is it so hard to attract Yoruba sons and daughters? The, the politically exposed Yorubas, the Yoruba elite, the Yoruba money bags, call them that, the economic shakers in Western Nigeria, to be at least attracted to the message or the advocacy for the Yoruba sovereign nation, when they know in the long run, right, they even stand to benefit even more as Yorubas in a Yoruba country than what they have to kill, to fight for, even kill for, or be killed for, waiting to share what Nigeria has, the crumbs Nigeria have for them. So when you look at people like this, when you see them around and you're like, they are so willing to renew this slavery that they are ready to tear you apart, tear you down, for telling them it is going to be a disaster like it has always been. So sometimes I was thinking about this, so talking about this insecurity in Yoruba land, and I was like, we want Yoruba nation. So many of us genuinely want it. Okay, I want it. I want something that is, the frontal, or let me say the beam for the people of Yoruba land to trudge through the Nigerian backwardness that they have, sort of forced on us. Now, what do I mean by this? Lack of coordination, exposure to what imaginary influence, and then the self-greed of people, but most importantly, lack of coordination. I mean, Yorubas used to have elders, leaders that would summon the collective assembly of Yorubas. And when they call for something so important, not politics, so something so important about Yoruba's agenda or Yoruba's advocacy, you will see everyone that matter gathered together. But these days, when they call together, it is not to discuss Yoruba land. It is not to discuss whatever Yorubas are facing in Nigeria today. It is to discuss how much they are. I mean, I'm talking about these criminals, how much they are or they stand to benefit if they continue to be loyal to Nigeria at the expense of the people of Yoruba land. Because look at it this way, the insecurity in Yoruba land, right, normally could end with one single frontal coordinated approach. Now, we have ruled out the politicians, we have ruled out some of these other opportunities in Yoruba land. But where are the real think tanks in Yoruba land? The real ones that they call the elders and leaders and all that, who have silently been following, right, the campaign, the advocacy for the Yoruba sovereign nation all these years, and seeing as well the reasons why people are clamoring for this, but they have been so quiet, complicit, coded in a way that sometimes they get triggered so easily when you approach them and say, what are you doing about? Why are you not talking about this? Why are you not talking about that? And they get triggered. Like, I don't know if you have seen some of them, right? So we have for example, we have different organizations who have been speaking out and speaking up, okay, for the people of Yoruba land, especially in the last 2 years. But somehow, the effect, the level of influence or control that is required to help discourage people like the videos I showed to you earlier, they are Yorubas. They are living in that bondage called Nigeria, and they want to keep it that way. They are ready to bleed to ensure that they keep it that way. The influence of the real Yoruba organizations in Yoruba land that could have ordinarily swayed things are no longer there. That is why when people said, how do we combat this insecurity? I said, if there is no coordinated approach, right, it will just be an ordinary wishful thinking. And that's exactly what happened. At the end of the day, there are people who are willing, so willing, right, to stand up against those who are terrorizing us in Yoruba land. Not just the armed Fulani terrorists, including the Yoruba elite, Yoruba politicians who continue to do everything within their power to ensure that Yorubas will be dead. I mean, sorry, Yorubas will be dead to the what do you call, to the word of defend yourself, stand up and do it. Rather, they will be triggered if you ask them to stand up, because they will be like, why should we stand up? There's no problem, because the politicians have managed to ensure that things like this, they never make it straight to their mainstream media. And if they ever make it to their mainstream media, there is so much poor coordination among people who care. I'll tell you something about frontal coordination, which we don't currently have. Most of the time, when I say there are things we could do by ourselves, but we will only be able to do them if we have a sort of a collective approach and not charlatans, right? Making incendiary statements, provocative statements, empty statements that further makes it more worthy for the criminals who are waiting to gaslight us simply because we are asking. that we want to be protected, or they should let us protect ourselves. Somebody, or should I say, many people on this platform suggested in the past and said, if we had a coordinated organization right there in Yoruba land, the one that even the political elite in Yoruba land would dread, people, they will be like, don't joke with them. I'm not talking about violence now, because most of the time, right? The reason why I have been a little bit, very, very careful in identifying with some of these groups and some of these guys is simply because, sadly, it's simply because they are not as coordinated as you would think, right? And in most cases, most of them speak right there, from their heads, not from their mind, in most cases. Are you with me? But when somebody suggested there, he said, Mayegun, if we have a real coordinated approach in Yoruba land, where trusted the people who could indeed, right, pull that number of Yorubas out of Yoruba land, who could go about and say, enough, right? Whatever it is that is making it look like it is an hopeless situation for Yorubas in Yoruba land, right? Will turn to an awful one where they can then believe that indeed they have a life outside, outside Nigeria. But here is something. Rather than people coming together, using that coordinated approach, like I said, right? They have opened themselves up, make themselves so vulnerable enough that the same elite in Yoruba land that should be so worried for their own failure in Yoruba land, the ones that they are actually throwing back at us, asking us for validation, asking us, that if you don't support what we are doing, if you don't back what we want, then you can consider yourself as a Omo Ale Yoruba and the rest of that. So all this gap, right? They make themselves so vulnerable that behind the scene, ladies and gentlemen, behind the scene, rather than us having a coordination, okay, what we have is a rivalry here and there. And that's, like I said, that's one of the reasons why I completely chose to stay in a way. But talking about coordination, I'll give you this example. On Mayegun's Diary Political, which you can go out there and verify and confirm, because I should even give names as well. On Mayegun's Diary Political, some times ago, it was like this, right? We're so worried, so concerned. Like, nobody is speaking up for the violence that they are unleashing on the people. They are underreporting them. They are calling them fake news. Okay? And a lot of people was talking. A lot of people were talking then. Okay? A lot of group were talking too. However, on Mayegun's Diary Political, people felt like all this talk will not change anything. We should do something. And if we want to do something, it is now or never. And that's exactly what happened. Within a space of 2-3 weeks, that we decided, we're going to do something. Yes, we're going to do something. We're going to put resources together and do something. We did, and we touched the lives of the victims of the lives of the victims of Nigerian persecution. That is something like a belt on our own shoulder, talking about coordination and what it can achieve. We were able to reach out to the 12 people that were wrongly kidnapped from Oloye Sunday Igboho's house on this platform. Right? We reached out to them and we supported them with millions of naira. Yes, we did. Oloye Sunday Igboho himself, from the moment it was pronounced that it was going to be released, where we actually had to make a deposit of a 2 million naira to a lawyer. That is action, coordinated action, something, right? Then it got released. Then afterward, millions of naira were also provided, right, for him legally, for his welfare, simply because a coordinated platform. An example of it, not because we really wanted to take charge of anything, just an example of a coordinated approach towards the things. Same thing as well. Hmm? For the leaders of Ilano, the deputy leaders of Ilano. Millions of nairas were also what? Spent on their own welfare by this platform. They are alive. Coordinated. Something that you can say, oh, and with that, that was what I was expecting, right? From organizations that can help us push in a way to get such support from everyone who is eager to see that something, there are actions put behind words, not just words and words, empty barrels, media this, media that. Something. It was on this platform that people said, hey, although we are fine, you are, we love the fact that you are speaking up for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. We are doing all of this here. We continue to all of that. But Mayegun, and I remember it was JJ. If JJ is watching, JJ was like, Mayegun, we need to also reach out to the IPOB at the time, which we did. 2 million naira was also made available to the legal team of IPOB by this platform. That is coordinated approach towards anything. People can talk and all that, right? And if we had managed, or if we have something in a bigger form and a bigger platform where all other smaller and other can come under and then and push, like we tried, right? The issue of insecurity in Yoruba land could have become something that even the politicians in Yoruba land won't be able to hide from you. But today, if you say much about it, they will call you enemy. They will say it's because you don't like this. It's because you hate that. On this platform, right, in a space of 4 months, we raised over 20 million naira that actually touched the lives, the most important things in the lives of people affected by Nigeria for speaking up. That is a coordinated approach. No, nothing selfish, nothing personal, nothing like a glorification or what have you. And all of this were not done because we were looking for recognition from who? We wanted to see actions put towards words that are there. But behind the scene, ladies and gentlemen, we are unable to have, at that time, we had people, we had communities, we have people from different states in Yoruba land. Okay? Different states in Yoruba land. We had people who were like, yes, this is our own vigilante group. This is our own security group here. This is our own, if we need support here in Kogi, we need our support. And to me, I was like, normally those shouldn't come to us. It should go to the people, that people should know that these are the people who are fighting and want Yoruba nation for all of us. If all of us play our role. Do you get that? But today we still report about our people being kidnapped. There's not even like a real surveillance. That's something that many of you have suggested here. Oh, we need to get drones. We need to get this. With so many beautiful ideas you've suggested here. All of this could have been passed down where the people who have been doing it and doing everything, if they, you know what I mean, like who are really dedicated doing what they said they are doing, right? These resources would have been channeled to them. And this, you see, you can't say you want to fight and defend your land without having the resources to do that, right? If the elite of the land, if the government of the land have decided, right, to take resources away from fighting insecurity deliberately, if you want to replace them, right, you must have the same resources, not just mouth. And we are talking about real resources that is an endless stream of resources, money and money, because you are doing the job of those who are in authority who fail to. But you don't do all of that by just talking. And look at us today. We shout to the United Nations, or we shout to Queen of England. She's dead. Maybe King of England now. We shout to who and who again? We shout to Joe Biden in America and the rest of them. When our brothers and sisters who are going through this hell are putting on yellow uniform, purple uniform, shouting àwọn lokan, ẹni tó bá ti kú ni tiẹ̀ gbé. There should be this influence, but it's gone beyond that now. And that is why most of the time when I say something, right? That's why I said, I've actually said this before. I said, most of all this that we do, they are supposed to be thankless job. if you ever see anybody that says, thank you so much for what you are doing, you are doing a great job, just nod your head and say, well, thank you very much for saying that. Nobody send you, nobody send me, nobody send anybody. But we have to do something, no matter how little or how big, in our little capacity or bigger capacity, anywhere you found yourself. And you do them not because you wanted to be praised for it. That's one, I don't know, maybe it's just me. That's but when you achieve it in a bigger way, when you achieve something that is coordinated and finally, I mean, like, you know, it's a different feeling, isn't it?
I sit down for you, don't find me come here again. What's the essence of the tripod? You have been our guest. Everything we produce, China will show control. Amen. Capacity, credibility, and character.
Liars. Do you get that now? Like, if I say something, right, people's feelings, so it was this pretty much like, oh, are you criticizing so person? Are you talking about this or that? Like, oh, let us start a fight. And I'm like, I'm not starting a fight with you, dumbos. You heard me clearly. If you are going for Biafra as an Igbo man, don't think you are doing anybody a favor. You are doing yourself and your generation to come a favor by standing up for Biafra. That is the legit thing to say. I'm fighting for you. No. Stop it. I'm fighting for the people of Yoruba land. Look at people who are fighting. No, you're not fighting. Come on, stop it. Stop giving yourself some messianic feelings that make you think you are actually, are you being serious? You're fighting for yourself. I'm fighting for mine. Everyone is fighting for theirs. But when it is all together, then it means we are fighting for ourselves and our future. Don't make yourself feel like you are doing something that, you need to be, come on. Maybe it's just me, Sha. There's some people who love being, the feeling of being messianic, even without anything to show for it. Just, So people feel like it should be. But again, I only just want to call your attention to it. It's probably not going to make any difference, okay, with what I have seen so far, right? But when I see news of these attacks and others, right, I just feel like, I wish we have real people that we can actually say, see, what's going on? What else do you need? What other help do you need? Why is this happening? We thought we would have, in a way, put this behind us and all that. But people, hardly with the news come out. And when it comes out, it's just days after, most times. You know what I mean? I hope that I won't be sitting down here in another 1 year, right? Still saying the same thing. Mayegun, what are you doing about Yoruba? What do you want me to do? Other than to tell you that it is the right thing to fight for. And you don't need anybody, right, to motivate you, to encourage you to do that. What Nigeria is doing right now is enough motivation. And listen, if the number is right, if you can match them number for number, and get them to show to them that, listen, no, we are tired. But you can't just say you are tired on social media. And physically, we only see scanty people who could actually come. I so much appreciate many of us who have been, very constant and out there, especially in Nigeria. But every time I see you, right, walk or march for Yoruba nation and then protest this or that, I won't lie to you. Most times, my my heart sometimes just kind of have to. Sometimes it feels like it's in my mouth. You know what? Because I feel like if anything happened to you, who exactly, and which organization exactly is going to undo whatever happens to you. Most of the time, we'll just have to come back to social media to seek help. That's not right. Now, I was reading something earlier before I came on as well, and it was the Nigerian army. They said that this is what their media reported. Somewhere in Songo, no, Ado-Odota. Okay. Hey, what is this area called again? Oh, why did I forget? Or somewhere in Ado-Odota. If I remember it, I'll tell you, right? Few days ago, they were doing their traditional Egungun festival and what have you. Okay. Just around about that time, the Yoruba Nation members, they were doing their normal peaceful procession, like normal awareness and all that. But just right about that time, yeah, the Nigerian army, they just started a commotion. What happened? And something happened earlier before the Yoruba Nation members actually marched past the area. Okay, what happened? They said one of the soldiers, okay, fought with somebody, or somebody fought with one of the soldiers at the Egungun festival or the traditional festival they are doing in that part of the town. So that soldier now ran back to their barracks. When he ran back to the barracks to bring the rest others to that venue to come and deal with the people doing their Odun Egungun in Adodo. It was around that time, Gele, that the Yoruba Nation processors were passing. Sure, you get. So they were dragging and dragging and dragging there, the people doing Egungun. And the people doing their Egungun there, they snatched a gun from one of the soldiers right there. And when the report will come out, you know what the report said? Yoruba Nation agitators fought Nigerian army and they snatched a gun. That's what their media reported. That's what most of you reported. So before I came on tonight, I saw where they said their soldiers, Nigerian military has now given the order that people should go to Ogun State. If they see any Yoruba, anybody who is claiming to be Yoruba, Ado-Odo Ota. God bless you. She get me now. That they should shoot them and kill them. And it's like an invitation to start their killings in Yoruba land. So if I am saying that we need more and more truthful information to help our people to understand what we are being dragged into or what we are actually into already, okay? I know what I'm saying. And it is not really a target at anybody, because if I should really tell you what goes on behind the scene, I keep saying that, Abby. I swear to God, even me myself, I won't feel good about, I don't keep things, but this is a particular one that I would rather let it play itself out, because I won't feel good. So many of you will never, ever want to have anything to do with some of them anymore. Seriously. But again, like I said, I can continue to give my own tiny bit advice here and there and continue to do my own part. So every time you want to say, what have you done? I have what we have done here. And it's not what Mayegun has done. It is what have you done through Mayegun's diary political. Okay? And one of them is that I have saved people from the nightmare of Nigeria. Do you get that? With the support of my people here too. This platform has saved a lot of people with a lot of money from the pang, and then the atrocities of Nigeria. You can go and verify. So they gave this number, this amount of people in, what do you call it, in Abia today, and I thought I should share that with you. Maybe you should listen.
I sit down for you, don't find me come here again. What's the essence of the tripod? You have been our guest. Everything we produce, China go show control. Amen. Capacity, credibility, and character. And in Peter Obi, we have seen those things. Every single, what is happening? Obi One party used to boast that this is the center of their support. That is history now. The day my brother Abi moved out, the end was spelled for that party. Abia State is the first state to break their heart. Once they lost it, and we see 99.9% obedient, that is the end of the story. When we shall live free with each other, when we live with each other, and I am here to lend support and let you know where I come from, are all obedient. Thank you so much and remain blessed. Nobody Allah, nobody Allah, nobody living in bondage.
Forward ever! Forward ever! Starboy!
Our spokesman is there. Our national spokesman is there. Kenneth. I have your details.
We are committed to leading a better Nigeria.
You people are blocking him. Oh.
Our commitment is to secure Nigeria. Our commitment is to secure Nigeria.
And listening to us. Nigeria, APC from top to bottom. Top to bottom. Top to bottom.
Top to bottom. Anyway, I've done my part. I just want to take calls now. Okay, let me take a few calls and call it before I call it a night. Remember, if you are a wine drinker, I have a 75 pounds voucher here for you from Naked Wines. All you have to do is to go on to Naked. When you get this voucher, I'll give it to you. If you are a wine drinker from the UK, you can get yourself champagne and any other thing you like on my bill. So I'm gonna go make myself another cup of tea. Then I'll take calls. So you can ask me questions if you want, or you can add to what we have said so far, or you can just say good night and we'll see some other time. Don't go anywhere. I will be back. Remember, you can still like this broadcast, like it, share it, subscribe if you haven't. And when I get back, I'll take your calls. Hello there.
Hello, how you doing?
Ahmed, you have always, somehow lately, you've always been making that first slot. How are you, Baba?
Baba, I do.
Well, sorry for keeping you waiting, by the way. So, I'm back.
No, I just enjoy the music they do.
You're singing it. So, how you be?
Abi, you go give me the voucher, man, I go drink the wine.
I wish they go ship them to you. No,
I play you.
You will say you're supposed to be afar. You want drink wine?
I know you.
It is well. So, how are you, Baba?
Baba, I do. How are you now?
Same old.
Make I pick them from where you see some soldiers who meet
Yoruba Nation agitators. That's what their media said, and that's not what happened.
Yes. They will always, because Yoruba Nation, they have been looking for ways to demonize it.
Something to criminalize it. You get that?
Yes. One shot, one con. God passed them. And for those soldiers, we have Yorubas that are in the military.
Mm-hmm.
We have Igbos. Different languages in the military.
Yes.
But it is one orientation. They'll tell you to obey the last command. Even if Oga they wrong, you don't get anything. You just obey.
Just follow the order.
And that is what has been pushing people to where they are not supposed to be. I give people different examples on how the military is being run. You see down here in the United States, the military down here in the United States, just the recruitment alone, the processing of the recruitment, you have to sit for an exam. We call the exam ASVAB exam. You will pass that exam because they will test you. You will pass that exam. They have a score line. You have to pass it. You go for physical. And if you are doing this recruitment, it is one-on-one, you and your recruiter. It is one-on-one.
No amount of the number of recruits they are bringing in.
No. They don't care. It is one-on-one. Those recruiters, their work in the military is to bring people into the military. So if you go online, if you just check, you see recruiter number, you write the number, you go and meet them in the office, you book appointment, you sit down, you start putting you through every single process until you get there. And the moment you pass your exam, you pass your physicals, it is done. Nobody, you don't need anybody. Or anything. You don't need any fucking idiot.
So, which means if you see anything wrong, you have a chance of speaking up and say, no, I'm not doing that.
Of course. Of course. So after that process, you will now go to training ground. We call it boot camp. When you now go to the
is that
camp,
the boot camp that Tinubu is talking about? 5 million. They will send.
Nigeria get boot camp for they get boot camp.
Tinubu will create one.
They don't get boot camp. She boot camp long place in Nigeria. That training ground long place to boot camp. No, he never reach boot camp. He still there. So if you can't go boot camp, before you go, me as a Muslim then, they was asking, remember then, they said, what do you eat? Because not even what do you eat. You will give them, if you have, I know they eat pork. Most of the meat where I eat and everything where I eat, yes, with all the things where I eat, I had to go and bring a paper that said, I don't do this, I don't do that, this is my time to go and pray, this is this. All the papers that I added it to my everything and sent it then. And they respected that fact. This time I came over the two, we are excused to go. Sharp, you come back. Time to eat. They already know what to eat. They give you.
So there's no time for you to start feeling like, they are doing this to me because I'm black, or they are doing this to me because I'm a Muslim. Things that will normally just make you resent them. They're not doing that. So why would you want to serve honestly then?
No. They are not doing that. You understand? And the moment, the day you write your exam, you pass your physical, you enlist, you already become the part of the military. You enlist there at the next enlist. So why I'm saying all this is, process new. If you are a soldier, you're on this platform, listen very carefully. Listen. If you're thinking what a soldier is doing in Nigeria, that is how a soldier is supposed to behave, like mad people. No. I have been in that kind of your situation, and nothing that thing will do to you. Instead, it will just haunt you for the rest of your life. Because you will get to a stage and you will be guilty of every single thing you have done. You will feel like, why did you do it? I used to feel it up to tomorrow. Like there are some madness. I did. I'll just look myself and say, where will it go? I'll just look out, scratch and say, alone. This thing where we do, no be small thing. We cross some kind lines where we say, Baba, no be here. But someone just thank God say, Adipelo alone, we still move forward. If you are a soldier and you are listening or you happen to come across this video and you are listening, listen very carefully. Nigeria will just use you and destroy you. Here in the United States, I'm talking because you will say, you cannot compare the system of the United States and Nigeria. A soldier everywhere is a soldier. Forget it.
A soldier.
You are supposed to be treated as a soldier. Anyone who tells you cannot compare the military of Nigeria, don't you use weapons? Don't you carry guns? Don't you wear uniform? They do all these things. The same training, everything, they do all these things. So if they are giving you the orientation, it's supposed to be the same.
You know what these soldiers in Ogun State
they pay you less.
Ahmed, you know what they did?
Yeah.
Last year, the people of a community, you know this story, by the way. They resisted the Fulani herdsmen invading their town. They pushed them out. So 24 hours after that, Nigerian soldiers from Olosun military barracks, Abalamala military, I don't know, in Abeokuta, they moved down straight to that community. And they called all the old men, young men, who chased the Fulani and their cows out of their community. You remember this story now? They flogged them.
I remember the story. Mayegun, I don't know if I ever told you. I once was in Alamala.
Oh, did you work there yourself?
In Alamala. Yeah, Alamala.
Alamala, it's called Alamala. Be here. Olosun police station.
Alamala.
Okay, it's Alamala. They beat old men. Old men. I'm talking about old men in their 60s, 70s. So they weep for they said, next time you do that, if they come here to attack your village and you call us for help, we will never answer you. Shall stupid in it. That's what they told them. Now they've given them the marching order to go and kill anybody doing Yoruba Nation in Ogun State because they collected their gun. Media said they collected their gun when they were not even involved.
Mayegun, like I said, I still have youth. I have younger ones. I have friends that are still in the Nigerian army. And I believe with the little I have taught them, the things I've shown them. I used to brag to them, like, if I come to Nigeria, if I like go to their office, sometimes like let me just go and pay them visit in their office. When I get there, mo le rí major, mo le wọ camo àbí kíní in wọlé, mo le rí major, in rí corner, I'll just look at them, I no send you. There was a day an incident happened. I think that was around 2019. The last time I went before I went this time around. I went to, there was a barrack in Kaduna where it's like ordnance corps, or if you belong to my uniform or soldier. Right. So if that's more love, more three-quarter camouflage, but the US Marine, DB only more. So if that's more I can't walk fast. I can't see one captain like that. Young guy, for age says, you know, go reach me. I just pass on. The guy just, hey, you come here, Muko, turn Muko, he comes, hey, I'm talking to you, come here. Money, Muko, smile. I just smile, shake my head, Muko, Loba, money. What's up? What's going on, man? Don't you see me? Can't you give compliments? Money, compliment. No, money, compliment. You mean me? Give you a compliment. Well, I'm not your soldier, okay? I'm not your soldier here. What do you mean you're not a soldier? You're putting on that money. Look, calm down. I'm not your soldier here. I'm a soldier in the United States, so I'm not your soldier here. As I call United States, oh sure, oh dake. Moi, your ID me more slowly. I tell you, bro, as I enter that place, come on. This guy won't relate to me. I don't give a Facebook for what
it won't be your party. Now, so it be. Like, why do you treat yourself like that? Why do you treat people?
I'm a fucking opera here. You are a captain. How much you collect? We have a country saying,
I hope they get it and that, whatever
I hope they get. See, you will regret it to anything you are doing now. You think you are doing your army job. You are not doing the job. You are just causing yourself pain.
Just like later on in life with uniform.
In life, you will regret that you did all those things. If you don't turn back and say no to those things. Even they ask you go and do something. There are some things that if you go and do, when you get there, just use your sense. Yeah, obey the last order, but when you obey the last order, when you get there, use your sense. That is just the only way.
Thank you very much, Ahmed.
And Keyamo,
She worry go game to Keyamo playing bang. Like people in Nigeria will believe him.
Who go want defend Tinubu? Who go want defend Tinubu? We no go look useless, stupid. And they also support on carry. I hear when you don't listen. I didn't want to buy it all long. I didn't want to buy it.
Ahmed, let me take another one. Nice one, Ahmed. So I have another call on the line. Oh, hello there.
Yeah, my evening, the general.
Baba, how are you, sir?
Good evening, my brother.
Good evening to you, sir.
Yeah, the name is Akinola Fuye once more.
Sir Akinola. You're welcome, sir.
Yeah.
Baba, wine.
Yes, sir. I know mo go first sọ pé mo fẹ́ kẹ́ gbé ògógóró yẹn fún mi ọ̀pá yìí tí mo mú lẹ́kọ̀ọ́ ti tán lára mi.
Àwọn wine kan wà tó lè fún yín ní 40% tí Jack Daniel náà máa fún yín, ṣé mo ṣá?
Àní tó bá lè bí ògógóró gan ló lágbára jù sódà lè pé Yorùbá nation.
Ọtí ẹlẹ́rìn dòdò lélẹ́yìn ní má dàn lò wọ́n tó. Ẹ wá mọ nǹkan, ẹ má sọ̀rọ̀ yín lọ bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ check nǹkan kan. Tó bá ń ta ògógóró ń bẹ̀ ká tó ṣetán lálẹ́ yìí ó lè jẹ́ ẹni máa fún. Because wine nígbà mo lọ síbẹ̀ yẹn last wine everything. Assorted wine, exotic, and all those stuff, Baba. But first thing first, if I not deal with you, if I confirm it, I'll give it to you, sir. She gets, or if I don't know, if I like it, she get. But it will never do
anyone, Baba.
Yeah.
I know get choice. Too much about the movie, Shara, me abale.
You know, I'm going to say, on behalf of my Gunio, she gets, and it's like,
trust me.
It gets some other people take pay. Mo bẹ̀ yín kò mo fẹ́ kí èèyàn kan jẹ́ kó di òbúmọ́ inú draw and bẹ́ẹ̀ get but whatever it is
sir
naked wines lórúkọ wọn ó yẹ yín sìn.
No problem.
Anyway, yeah, I think wine economy one get.
What's the problem? More okay for the wine.
All right,
I love wine.
I can send that in.
Yeah.
For me 1 minute.
Yeah.
So thank you so much. By the way, only one caller to wa lórí aago mi náà tí mo fẹ́ gbé wọlé bọ̀ ẹ jẹ́ kí sáré clear pẹ̀lú. Okay, mo tẹ́ máa ṣe fún mi sir, yeah. Ẹ kàn ṣe just I. Ẹ kàn tẹ I látòrí phone yẹn sì ṣe lè ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ as we are talking.
Of course.
Lórí WhatsApp yẹn náà ni o. Ẹ kàn ṣe I. So màá lè lo yẹn fi reply. Mo try láti wá number yẹn jáde ní number list yẹn gùn gan.
Okay, mo ṣe hi yẹn.
Oh, bless you. So now, mo fẹ́ kí ẹ check phone ní ṣẹ́gẹ́. Ẹ máa rí password and 1 sec. So wọ́n send méjì picture ni wọ́n show yín. So so tẹ́ bá highlight ẹ máa rí ní ọwọ́ òkè £75 yẹn sir. Ẹ máa rí tẹ́ bá ti débi payment lórí website yẹn tẹ́ bá ti dé payment nǹkan tó máa bèèrè lọ́wọ́ yín nìyẹn password. And you know the drill yẹn ṣá anyway. So I'll take time in lórí ẹ̀. Kẹ́jẹ́ kí n mọ̀ bóyá tó bá ti wọlé ká tó kúrò lórí program, sir. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Ọ̀ṣẹ́ ti rí photo yẹn.
Ó ti wọlé already.
Oh, ẹ ti rí wọn.
Naked wine lovers.
Brilliant. That's the website.
£75 to spend.
Epic assorted. 1 bottle, 2 bottle, 20. You know how it be. Kì í ṣe nǹkan tó kúkú wọ́n jùjú anyway. So tẹ́ bá ti níbi tẹ́ máa kó wọn sí. Ẹ kó as many as possible. £75 bá lè kó sir. Thank you very much.
All right, Baba.
God bless you.
MG.
Baba.
Sorry, Adúpẹ́ Ọlọ́run fún content an eye opener, and then all of my blessing to family and all the people in the Temple of Truth, especially everybody me kind of Sherry, just like a book when I was in the secondary school, is it Kamala or Iboma only I cried for my beloved country. Nigeria is a country that when you look at the